This week's question comes from Jacob Smith, and he asks, you keep mentioning players that are really good, yet do not have high overall rating. Example, you said Jake Locker is really good at leading passes, and Reggie Bush somehow always breaks the first tackle. If you could dedicate a video to those kinds of players, or maybe a player with a high rating that doesn't perform as they should, it would be really interesting. So thanks for the videos, and keep doing what you do. So I appreciate that question, and today we're just going to actually take a look at the lower rated players that I find very good to draft in Connected Careers. And the first one, of course, is Jake Locker, who I do believe is a must draft. If you can get him, he doesn't show up on the initial board, but I do believe he is actually the best quarterback in the entire game. Terrell Pryor is another great option. He's a guy that you might want to sit on the bench, get his ratings up a little bit. Once you get his ratings up, the guy's going to be a total animal with that 90 speed. Ryan Mallett at 6'6" and 98 throw power is probably one of my favorite slower quarterbacks as far as a franchise. Lamar Miller is another great option, starting at running back. He's a guy I always like to grab in the later rounds. And Donald Brown, for whatever reason, anytime I've used the Colts this year, despite his slower rating of speed, only 89 and only 5'10", is actually an animal at running back. Chris Durham is a guy that you probably saw a lot of highlights on early on in the season. I used him with the Seattle Seahawks at 6'6". He's a great choice. Jonathan Baldwin, 6'4" wide receiver. Leonard Hankerson is definitely a lot faster than his speed says so. And the same with Kevin Ogletree. The guy is an absolute monster. So what else do we got at wide receiver? We got Chaz Schillens, probably the best spec catching or best player at going up to get balls in the entire game, in my opinion. It's just that nobody uses the Jets. Ricardo Lockett is a great option. Stephen Hill, again, another Jets wide receiver. The Jets do have great wide receivers in the game. Dion Butler, if you love drags, he is definitely your guy to go to for drags. Who else do we got here? I'm just going to go over all these guys. Robert Yu is not really a real player. They just put him in the game. He is an animal at 6'4". He's a free agent, and he's definitely a guy that I love to use. Kobe Fleener is always my best option at tight end, 6'6". Same with Taylor Thompson, 6'6", 287 pounds and 84 speed. Derek Carrier is 89 speed and 6'4". Those are my three favorite tight ends. I also like Jordan Cameron at 6'5". Nobody ever drafts anyone from Cleveland, so we might as well throw them a bone and draft Jordan Cameron. Carlos Dunlap is a great defensive end, but with all the DT blitzes that are out this year, he is my favorite DT in the entire game at 6'6", 289 pounds. I love the fact that he weighs a lot because then he can play the DT position. Kimuatu there, 6'5", 345 pounds. Cam Thomas, 6'4", 335. And Terrence Cody, 6'4", 349. I love defensive tackles that are tall and fat. That's exactly what I love, with some strength. Dontari Poe is my favorite defensive tackle in the game with 96 strength. Bruce Carter is another great linebacker. Definitely a guy that you want to go after, Bruce Carter. Corey Toomer, again, this guy is a 57 overall, and he is a total animal. Nick Perry is a rookie. Not sure if anyone really knows about him too much. I know he was drafted pretty high. Sergio Kindle has like 95 acceleration and 84 speed. Zach Brown's one of the best linebackers in the entire game, and he's only an 80 overall. Quincy Blackett, 72 overall, is another pretty good option. And who else do we have here? Ricky Sapp. This is a guy who is 57 overall, 85 speed, 94 excel, 6'4", 252 pounds. I love to use him at defensive end, not linebacker. Nigel Bradham, 6'2", 240, a good option at linebacker, has pretty good acceleration. Terrence Newman, I have just come to learn, is one of the best kick returners and best punt returners in the game. You must get him if you like a decent corner and someone good in the return game. Tommy Campbell is probably the most sought-after cornerback in the game that doesn't get drafted high. DeMarcus Van Dyke has speed all over the field. Cletus Gordon is a guy that I love to grab late in the draft. And same with Teddy Williams. This guy's going to come out late in the draft. He's 6'3" and only 54 overall. Mark Barron is very low rated, very low speed, not my kind of guy, but this guy makes hits everywhere on the field. Hit sticks for days, that guy. And finally, Jordan Bernstein is an animal at 63 overall with his teammate, Brandon Merriweather. Two guys I love to draft late in the draft.